Let us deal with Gachagwa's issue. I think Gachagwa's issue demonstrates how weak our democracy is. That the so-called democracy in our country is actually a dictatorship of the rich and the ruling class. There is no way a deputy president can be hounded off the office without popular support, but only because he has disagreed with his partner or his boss. I think this exposes the lie in the liberal democracy that it is the freedom of the majority of the Kenyan people to choose their leaders. Because definitely now we have a deputy president that has been sworn against the Kenyan constitution and in actual sense does not enjoy the broader popular support of the Kenyan majority. So it was a sham. Look at that guy. I was with him in the university, Mutusi. I didn't know he's that dumb. He could not even refer to the documents that was given to him. And every time we say that these lawmakers is a rented crowd, we mean it. Because even the lawyers were taking him through his own evidence, or what is meant to be his own evidence. So what I was asking Tuesday the other day, who prepared this evidence for you? That you could not even refer to page 36 and say that who owns this and who owns that. So it was a total sham, and it only proves that the Kenyan justice system, the Kenyan parliamentary system is captured by the same criminal elements within the executive to use them in their own ends. Now, legally, I am not a lawyer, but remember Kindiki was a public servant. How is it possible for a public servant to be nominated while in office as a public servant to take a political seat? Even myself, when I want to take a political seat, even if I'm a lecturer, I have to resign first, and then 3 months later, I pursue that electoral position. How is it possible that those glaring errors was ignored by the people who are swearing in Kindiki? Maybe some people will say I don't like Kindiki, but I mustn't like him. He's a killer. This guy, under his reign, he murdered several young people. 61 of our comrades were murdered in the street. And that is why every time we remember our first martyr in the street, Rex Masai, who murdered him. So nobody will give us justice if Kindiki is the deputy president, and he knows that any inquiry on the murder of the Gen Z protesters will indict him, not just to be prosecuted in the local court, but also prosecuted internationally. So it is not Kindiki's interest to give us justice. And remember what his friend Ruto said during his swearing in, that he wants somebody that even if he sends to do his own things, can do it without question. That is the bankruptcy of the politics that we have today. So for the Communist Party of Kenya, of course, we reject not just President William Samoei Ruto. Everything that Gachagua was accused of is President William Samoei Ruto is guilty of. If you talk about corruption, don't you know who was taking selfies with people who have been charged with corrupt activities? How many years was Walukwe, for example, committed to jail? And did you see Walukwe in State House taking some juice with the president? So how do you think? So when you say that Gachagua is corrupt, is Ruto less corrupt? Who is hanging around Ruto? The lady who shot and the bodyguard in Kwale. We remember Dismas Baraza, the murder of the people in Western Kenya, are the people piling around the president. So you can tell me that Gachagua is corrupt, but I can tell you Ruto is more corrupt. So if they have to go, our opinion that they have to go all of them, not just one at a time. If you talk about tribalism, who has been pumping tribalism in this country other than President William Samoei Ruto? Is he not more? Even look at after the Gen Z revolution and he hired Raila as a mechanic to repair the sinking bus of Kenya Kwanza. They went to Luoland. What did they say? In his presence, he said it is the first time that a Luo is going to head the treasury of this country. Was that not tribalism? So when these rich criminals from different tribes join hands to advance their own interests, they want to appeal for tribal sentiment. But they are accusing Gachagua of everything they are guilty of. So for us, we say that if Gachagua indeed has to go, and he is gone, so the people of Kenya must force again Ruto's hands out of State House. And that is why we are saying that we are actively preparing for season 2, just like we prepared for season 1, to make sure that the entire ruling class in this country is swept out.
And also